Welcome to Power in Words, a quiet space designed to offer you inspiration, profound strength, and grounding positive energy when the noise of the world becomes too loud. We are here to sit with you in the quiet moments of reflection, offering a sanctuary where your mind can rest and your spirit can find its footing once again. This is a place where we explore the deep currents of the human experience, walking together through the complexities of our inner lives. There is an unspoken pressure that permeates our modern existence, a heavy and invisible weight that so many of us carry without ever saying a word. We wake up, reach for the glass screens beside our beds, and immediately allow the entire world to flood into our private sanctuaries. In a matter of seconds, we are confronted by the achievements, the milestones, and the seemingly flawless realities of thousands of other human beings. It is a daily ritual of voluntary exposure to the highlight reels of humanity, and without even realizing it, we begin to measure the quiet, messy, and complicated reality of our own lives against the polished illusions of strangers. This quiet habit is not merely a modern inconvenience, it is a profound psychological burden impacting everyone. As an observer of the human mind, I have spent countless hours listening to the silent struggles of individuals from all walks of life. The fear of failure, the nagging ache of imposter syndrome, and the profound loneliness of feeling left behind are universal threads woven into the fabric of our shared humanity. We look at the person next to us, or the figure on the screen, and we ask ourselves why we are not moving as quickly, achieving as much, or smiling as brightly. We take our behind-the-scenes reality, complete with its hidden traumas, unspoken anxieties, and daily exhaustion, and we place it on a scale against the carefully curated public image of someone else. It is an unwinnable game, a rigged psychological trap that guarantees only feelings of inadequacy and lingering self-doubt. When we constantly look outward to define our own value, we surrender our internal compass to a chaotic and indifferent world. The truth is that no two human beings share the exact same starting line. Your journey, with its specific contours, obstacles, and historical burdens, is entirely unique to your existence. You possess a distinct psychological makeup, a unique nervous system, and a deeply personal history of joy and sorrow shaping your life. To demand that your path look identical to another person's path is to deny the fundamental reality of your own unique existence. It is an act of profound unfairness to yourself. We often forget the heavy emotional backpacks we carry. We forget the times we had to rebuild our confidence from shattered pieces, the mornings when simply getting out of bed felt like moving a mountain, and the quiet courage it took to survive days that no one else knew about. When we look at someone else today, we are seeing a snapshot of their present, completely divorced from their history. We do not see their restless nights, their private failures, or the advantages they may have been handed by sheer coincidence of birth. We only see the finish line they are crossing right now. This brings us to a transformative psychological principle articulated beautifully by Jordan Peterson when he suggested that we must compare ourselves to who we were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. This is not merely a clever piece of motivational rhetoric. It is a fundamental pillar of psychological resilience and emotional healing. Shifting your gaze away from the horizontal plane of social comparison liberates your anxious mind from completely unnecessary daily emotional suffering. Directing your attention vertically toward your own personal timeline is one of the most liberating decisions you can ever make. It is a profound return to reality. When you compare yourself to who you were yesterday, you establish a baseline that is actually fair, accurate, and deeply rooted in the truth of your lived experience. Think about the person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, or even just yesterday. Think about the specific fears that used to paralyze you, which you have now learned to navigate. Consider the small moments of patience you have cultivated, the toxic habits you have slowly begun to dismantle, and the boundaries you have bravely established. These are profound victories. They may not come with a public trophy or a round of applause from the crowd, but they are the quiet, sturdy bricks with which a genuine and meaningful life is built. Real growth is rarely glamorous. It does not always announce itself with dramatic breakthroughs or cinematic moments of absolute clarity. More often than not, true psychological transformation occurs in the mundane, invisible moments of daily life. It happens when you choose to pause and take a deep breath instead of reacting with blind anger during a highly stressful situation occurring today. It happens when you feel the familiar pull of anxiety but decide to step forward anyway. It happens when you forgive yourself for making a mistake instead of spiraling into harsh self-criticism. These incremental shifts in behavior and perception are the true markers of a life that is expanding and evolving. When we ignore these internal milestones because they do not look like someone else's external success, we rob ourselves of the joy and the dignity of our own progress. We must learn to become the quiet champions of our own incremental growth. The journey of self-discovery and personal evolution is inherently solitary. Even if you are surrounded by a supportive community, the actual work of healing your mind, challenging your deepest fears, and rewriting your internal narrative is a task that only you can accomplish. It requires a willingness to sit with your own discomfort, to face the shadow parts of your identity, and to take responsibility for the direction of your life. This level of profound introspection is simply impossible when your attention is constantly fractured by the noise of comparison. You cannot cultivate your own potential if your eyes are perpetually fixed on the harvests of those around you. You must bring your energy back home to yourself. The fear of falling behind is an illusion born from a society that worships speed over substance and external validation over internal peace. But life is not a race to a predetermined finish line. It is a continuous unfolding of your potential. Some seasons of your life will be characterized by rapid external movement, visible achievements, and loud victories. Other seasons will demand profound stillness, deep internal healing, and the quiet shedding of old identities that no longer serve you. Both seasons are equally valuable, and both are necessary for the creation of a whole and resilient human being. If you are currently in a season of quiet reconstruction, do not let the loud successes of others make you feel as though you are failing. Healing takes as long as it takes, and growth operates on its own sacred timeline. You must learn to grant yourself the grace of patience. A senior therapist once noted that the most significant obstacle to happiness is the belief that we are somehow supposed to be further along than we actually are. We torture ourselves with arbitrary timelines, believing we should have achieved certain milestones by a specific age dictated by a restless world, or that we should have mastered our emotions completely by now. This internal tyranny creates a persistent background noise of anxiety that drains our energy and prevents us from fully inhabiting the present moment. You are exactly where you need to be to learn the lessons that this specific chapter of your life is trying to teach you. By constantly comparing your current chapter to someone else's climax, you miss the crucial character development happening within your own story right now. Think of the resilience it has taken simply to arrive at this very moment. You have survived every single difficult day you have ever faced. You have navigated heartbreaks that felt like they would shatter you, disappointments that threatened to extinguish your hope, and moments of profound lostness where the path forward was entirely obscured. Yet, here you are. You are still breathing, still seeking, and still trying to build a life of meaning and purpose. That endurance alone is a testament to a quiet, unbreakable strength within you. It is a strength forged in the fires of your unique struggles. A strength no one else can fully understand, because no one else has walked your specific path. To honor that strength, you must stop minimizing your survival by comparing it to the perceived ease of others. There is a deep psychological peace that washes over you when you finally decide to drop the heavy burden of social comparison. It feels like taking a deep breath after holding it for years. When you accept that your only true measure of progress is the distance you have traveled from your own past self, the world stops being a stage where you must constantly perform and compete. Instead, it becomes a vast and open landscape where you are free to explore, stumble, learn, and grow at a pace that honors your nervous system and your emotional capacity. You begin to define success not by the accumulation of external accolades, but by the steady cultivation of internal peace, genuine self-respect, and profound emotional clarity. As the writer Ernest Hemingway once astutely observed, there is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. This is the essence of taking responsibility for your own journey. It is about recognizing that while you cannot control the chaos of the world around you, you alone hold the pen to how your internal narrative unfolds from this moment forward. You cannot control the circumstances of your past, nor can you dictate the actions or the fortunes of those around you. But you possess the absolute power to choose how you respond to your present reality. You can choose to respond with bitterness and envy, or you can choose to respond with quiet determination and self-compassion. The latter path requires courage, but it is the only path that leads to genuine freedom. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and consciously deciding not to look sideways. Imagine pouring all the mental energy you normally spend on comparison into the nurturing of your own potential. What could you build with that reclaimed energy? What quiet passions could you reignite? What deep wounds could you finally begin to heal? The moment you stop comparing yourself to someone else is the moment you finally meet yourself. It is the moment you can look in the mirror and offer the reflection looking back at you a profound sense of acceptance and understanding. You are a work in progress, a complex and beautiful tapestry of flaws, strengths, memories, and dreams. You do not need to be flawless to be worthy of love, respect, and deep contentment, exactly as you are in this very real moment. You only need to be willing to grow, one tiny, imperceptible step at a time. The next time you find yourself caught in the suffocating grip of comparison, gently pause. Take a deep, grounding breath. Remind yourself that the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be today, built upon the foundation of the person you were yesterday. Acknowledge your past self with kindness, recognizing the battles they fought to get you here. Greet your present self with radical acceptance, understanding that you are doing the best you can with the tools you currently have. And look toward your future self with a sense of hopeful curiosity, knowing that every small choice you make today is quietly shaping the reality of tomorrow. You are not behind, and you are not failing. You are simply walking your own distinct and deeply personal path toward a meaningful existence. Embrace the dignity of your journey. Your only true competition is the shadow you cast yesterday. If this message resonated with your spirit, please consider leaving a like, sharing this video with someone who might need these words today, and subscribing to Power in Words to continue walking this beautiful journey of growth and reflection together as friends.